What's up guys, Nico here. Today I'm going to start pulling off my power steering pump on my S14 to try to rebuild it. Got this, where'd it go? Here's the power steering rebuild seal kit. Just typed in 95240SX power steering pump rebuild kit on eBay. You'll find plenty of listings. So we'll start the car so you guys can see. Pump's just making a whining noise. It's really fucking annoying. And usually it doesn't work unless I rev the engine up. So let's see if you guys can hear it. Yeah, really fucking annoying. Especially when you're parked and trying to turn the wheel. So yeah, start pulling that bitch out. Alright, so first things first, take off the intake, take off the belt, and then we could disconnect the power steering lines and pull out the pump. So there's one 12mm bolt holding the tensioner, loosen that one, and then the 14mm right here, loosen that one all the way. And then there's a 14mm bolt holding the pump to the block, which you have to crank the engine until those pulley holes align with it, because you just have to. And then once you loosen that, I would also recommend loosening this 19mm bolt, because you'd rather do it when it's on the pump, as well as a pulley 19mm bolt, which you'd rather do when it's on the car, unless you have a vise, of course. So loosen those and then you should be good to go, along with this power steering soft hose, and that's it, and the pump should come out. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking this apart. Also, I was gonna say, if you have a vise, then this is not a problem, but I don't have a vise, so surprised how easy that popped off. Alrighty. Tools as far to rebuild this power steering pump: 12mm, 24 for this fitting, snap ring pliers or needle nose pliers to get that snap ring off, a hammer, maybe a pick to pull the O-rings off. Now we're going to take off this bracket right here. Next we'll take off the little tube part that goes to the soft line. So there is one of our O-rings that we are going to be replacing right in there. Now we are going to take apart the actual pump. Surprisingly, those are not in there that tight. Should pop straight out. Yep. Just like that. Forgot to mention that it comes with a blowout with the pump disassembled, which is pretty helpful. So just for reference, the veins coming out of it, I don't know if you can see, there's a rounded edge and a flat edge. The rounded edges face outwards. Little outer wheel, the G and the 4 or whatever markings on there face outwards when you disassemble it. Just so I don't forget when I put it back together. We got that. I'll go ahead and put the new one on. If anyone's doing this at home, like me, Recommend getting just some snap ring pliers, make this job a lot easier, but little needle nose pliers with a screwdriver will work. Alright, now we are going to smack that out. That one went over that one. Oh, that is one O-ring. Pretty sure it's that one. So, out of the kit, just match up which O-ring you need to put on it. Got these two O-rings on the part where it connects your hard line to. There's two O-rings over here that are going to go to that. This shaft was in here, like so. All you gotta do is hammer this back end out once you remove the snap ring, of course, and it'll slide right out. And in there you can see is one of our seals. So we are just gonna pry that seal out. Sealed out. Now get the new seal, smack it down in there, hopefully without damaging it. Just pushed it in there. We're good to smack the shaft back into place. Probably want to use a rubber mallet or copper, or at least put the nut back on so you don't fuck the threads up, but I didn't. New snap ring. Let's put this bad boy into place. Smack it to make sure it's flush against there. Feels good. Floppy. Feels funny. So I'm gonna put it in the pump first. That looks a lot better. Yes, nice, 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 nice. Let's go ahead and slide this piece of craftsmanship. Spins good. Really hoping I don't fuck this power steering pump up. I'm not liking the sound of that. I think there's some dirt on there. Probably is. I'm rebuilding this pump on a cardboard mat that we keep our cat food in. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna put that piece back in. Now we are going to try and get this guy back in. I'm trying, no, that's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. All the veins in there, make sure all the rounded edges are facing the outer edge. We go ahead and put our other cover back on. This back on. This bigger hole is going to line up with this hole. This hole right here is the exiting route for once that it pumps the pressure. So just like that, probably like maybe 30 minutes to tear it apart and rebuild it. It's good to go. Let's go put this shit back in there. so the power steering comes back in, as you can see, a little bit cleaner than before. Just gonna put some fluid in and fire her up. This time we're gonna run transmission fluid. Heard a lot better things about keeping your power steering cooler. Since I don't have a oil cooler right now, I'm just gonna try this for now and eventually get an oil cooler, but heard a lot of good things about running ATF instead of power steering fluid, so we're gonna give it a try. Just gonna crank it a little bit, suck in some fluid. Oh, we're a little bit good. Try and keep it running, see what happens.